Hey guys, Shane here, and I'm going to show you how to set up your computer for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Alright? First things you want to do is go to your control panel, and you want to type power options up here. And you want to make sure that it's on high performance, because balance, what it does, it makes your CPU go up and down, and it even does this in game. So it'll increase the DPC latency, which increases lag and input lag as well. So you want to make sure this is on high performance for any game pretty much. So after that's done, you want to go into the video settings here. Generally, I don't change these settings at all, actually. I'm just going to explain some things that people do. I even made one of these mistakes, is they changed their pre-rendered frames. The default application is pretty much around about 3. It's not exactly the same as 3, but it's around there. And a lot of people set it to 1. I had mine to 1 before. It's not bad, but it will start to bug out your game sometimes. So I would generally keep this at use 3D application setting. Unless your computer can somehow handle 1, then swap it to 1, because it'll be less input lag. But if your computer has problems with it, it'll have more input lag. So keep this on 3D application setting. And the rest, pretty much default. You don't really need to test this, mainly because the power options that you just did will make your graphics card run the max anyway. And for mouse settings, if you have a gaming mouse, you will have mouse drivers, and you want your DPI to be like 400 to 800, somewhere around there, because it increases your accuracy in game. You don't want to, be doing tornadoes and shit when you're trying to flick an op shot or something. And your polling rate should be around 500 or 1000. They're both pretty good. 1000 is slightly more responsive. It's barely noticeable, but it is there. And before you start up Counter-Strike or anything, you gotta go to your local disk, then go to Programs 86 from Steam, Steam Apps, Common. You want to go to Counter-Strike, CSGO, Config, and you want to make a file called autoexec.config. Make sure it's .config. And once you've done that, you want to set your rates, which is these two right here. These two are the most important out of every other setting you can put in here. These two pretty much lower your internet delay, and it makes your hit reg slightly snappier if you have good internet. If you have bad internet, I would use the default. And let's check out my in-game settings. Alright, so let's go to my keyboard and mouse first. I use raw input on because raw input, instead of your mouse going from desktop in-game, it goes from just mouse in-game right away. That way it's much faster, and usually you get a lot less mouse skipping and mouse accel when you have this on. Even if you remove all accel and keep this off, there could be some lag in your mouse related to your FPS or to your computer settings. So it's the safest bet to keep this on. You want Excel off at all times, unless you like it. I personally hate Excel, so I keep it off. You want your sensitivity to be something like this. 2.2, somewhere low. 2.2, 3.1, anything like that. As long as it's 2, 3, or even 1. And your graphics settings, aspect ratio and resolution, personal preference. You don't want to copy mine. You use whatever is best for you. And my global settings, shadow quality is on low because I don't need the shadows personally, but with high, medium, and even low, you could see shadows, like when people are about to pick a corner, so it can help you, but me, I don't need it, so I use very low. The model detector, effect detail, and shader detail are all useless, in my opinion, so I use them all in low. Multi-core rendering, you gotta want if you have a quad-core processor or something stronger. Definitely want this on, it'll give you more frames per second. Multi-sampling, anti-analyzing, pretty much gives you better vision at long range, so I like using mine at 2. You can use it at 4 as well. It doesn't hit your performance that much. If you have a crappy computer, just keep it off. Texture filtering, I like to use it X16. because using X16 pretty much crisps the image a little more. It's easier once again to see at long range, but you don't really need this. You could use it at billionaire, trillionaire. It doesn't really affect performance. FXAA you're going to want off because I've heard it causes input lag. Not sure if that's true. Another thing is it blurs the game, so you definitely don't want this on. Vertical sync, a big no. It causes so much input lag. You do not want this on. And motion blur just makes it hard to see. Do not turn this on. And that's pretty much it. Hope this helps you out, and this is my second settings video. The first one had to be redone because of some mistakes that I found out later on, and I hope this really helps you out. Thanks a lot guys for watching, and peace.